It's called etching. An artist uses a stick to add milk marks on the top of the coffee. It's a delicate process which can be ruined instantly when people add sugar or perhaps take a sip. But it's coffee after all, and it's meant to drink. That just is, I've seen these things, but they're just beautiful.
It is. It's almost too pretty to drink. Have you ever tried to do that yourself? It's impossible. Very difficult.
I've never tried to make a latte.
I tried to make a smiley face and I couldn't do it.
Well, it is an art. All right, that's our time for now. We thank you for watching. See you back here again tomorrow. News 3 at 5 starts right now.
And right now, learning more about the woman killed in Wisconsin Dells last week, what her friends are saying about her.
A new report has classified several bridges in our area as structurally deficient. We'll explain.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 5.
And thanks for staying with News 3 Now. Friends of the 23-year-old woman killed in Wisconsin Dells are still in shock, now raising money to send her 2-year-old daughter to be with her family in Ukraine.
The little girl's father is in custody for the murder, along with 11 previous domestic violence charges. Our Amanda Quintana is here with more on this tragic situation. Amanda?
Yes, well, Tanya was working in Wisconsin Dells on a J-1 visa. Now that she's gone and her husband is being charged with her murder, their 2-year-old is left with no family here. As Tanya's friends remember her, they want to help take care of her daughter.
Tanya came here as a young girl, very quiet, shy.
When Tanya Husfa moved to Wisconsin Dells from Ukraine at age 19 just 4 years ago, she knew no one. Her co-workers at Goody Goody Gumdrop became her family before she made her own with her husband and little girl Sabina.
She was a really trustworthy person and really good mom. Like, the last time I saw them together, like, they were so cute, and you can't imagine, like, someone like that can be dead at 23 because it doesn't make sense.
Tanya's body was found by police on Thursday. Her husband, Fuad Pashayev, the suspect. Tanya, another face of domestic violence. Her co-workers wishing there was something they could have done, especially when she didn't seem like herself and quit her job last summer.
One of the girls here had gone to her and asked her if she needed help, you know, that she was there for her, and, you know, any of us would step in and do what we could do. But she said it's okay. She was going to handle it on her own.
Now knowing, Tanya physically ran to police for help, and her husband was facing 11 charges from January, including strangulation, battery, and false imprisonment.
It just make me feel sometimes guilty. Maybe we could have helped her more. Maybe we should have pushed her more, or, you know, like, you just don't see because you don't know. Like, she tells you a little bit, but, like, she can't tell everything, you know, like, obviously you don't know what's going on in the closed doors.
With so many questions they might never get answers to.
What kind of human being can, like, hurt, like, a 2-year-old kid's mom in the same house? Like, that doesn't make any sense to any human being.
Her friends are now focusing on the 2-year-old daughter Tanya left behind. They're told Sabina is safe, but they haven't been able to see her, assuming she's in foster care.
She shouldn't be growing up with somebody stranger she doesn't know, and she should be with her grandma and her, you know, mom's family.
A GoFundMe has been created to help Tanya's parents in Ukraine come here to take their granddaughter and their daughter's body back to Ukraine. It has raised more than $25,000 so far, but her friends tell me it will not be easy for Tanya's parents to get a visa and come to America to take Sabina. We'll have a link to that GoFundMe on our website too, channel3000.com.
Amanda, thank you.
The Columbia County District Attorney's Office is closed without much of an explanation today.
Our Keely Arthur joins us live from the Columbia County Courthouse in Portage with the details. Keely?
Well, the Columbia County Courthouse was open for business except for the district attorney's office. There was a sign posted on their window explaining that the office was closed temporarily due to staffing issues and a check back in this afternoon. However, as of 4:15 p.m., the sign is still posted. The office still closed. Now, News 3 first told you about staffing issues within the Columbia County District Attorney's office back in March. At the time, an assistant district attorney and victim's witness position were both vacant. When asked about behavior within the office, District Attorney Tristan Egan could not deny there was drinking there. Egan was appointed by the Walker administration back in January. Now, it's unclear where Egan is right now. The state oversees all district attorneys' offices, and we're working with Governor Evers' office to see exactly where Egan is and if there's any kind of investigation going on. Hopefully, we'll bring you some more details later on. Back to you.
Kaylee Arthur live in Portage. Thank you.
A man suspected of a February homicide in the city of Beloit has been arrested in Texas. The LaSalle County, Texas Sheriff's Office says 38-year-old Jacob Davenport was booked into jail on Saturday after Beloit police filed a warrant for his arrest on Friday. Now, Davenport is the suspect in the shooting death of 28-year-old James Thompson. His body was found back on February 9th in his SUV in Beloit. Authorities are seeking a first-degree intentional homicide charge against Davenport.
An Oregon man is facing an impaired driving charge after a 3-car crash on a busy East Madison road Sunday. Madison police say 42-year-old Matthew Chard is facing tentative charges of operating a motor vehicle while impaired, causing great bodily harm and possession of a narcotic. An eyewitness told officers Chard didn't stop for a red light on East Washington Avenue. The witness told police Chard's car rear-ended another car that was stopped. Chard's car went airborne and landed on a third car. Police say 7 people were injured in the crash, but fortunately none of the injuries were life-threatening.
The labor union is organizing a solidarity cookout tonight on the Isthmus after flyers promoting a white supremacist group were found downtown over the weekend. The flyers appear to be propaganda for American Vanguard, which the Anti-Defamation League says is a white supremacist organization that tries to attract American college students. Someone found the flyers in multiple little libraries near Lapham Elementary School, then posted about it on Nextdoor to spread awareness. Madison police say they have not been contacted about the flyers. Community members are invited to the Tenny Park shelter at 6 this evening for a cookout to celebrate the neighborhood.
Madison firefighters responded to a fire caused by the spontaneous combustion of towels containing cooking oil. It happened at Stalzy's Deli on the 2700 block of Atwood Avenue last night. Firefighters say the fire was mostly contained to the kitchen and caused substantial damage to the property. Officials say the deli staff took approximately 50 small towels used for cooking and cleaning to the laundromat. After washing, the towels were dried at a high temperature for 60 minutes and placed in wire baskets and stored under a prep table at the restaurant, where they later ignited.
The Columbia County Sheriff's Office is looking for the person who broke into the county's Humane Society. Staff of the Columbia County Sheriff's Office says the facility was broken into between 1 p.m. Sunday and early this morning. No animals were hurt, but money from the shelter was taken. Staff say several windows were broken. Towels were actually started on fire in the garage. Anyone with information is asked to call the Columbia County Sheriff's Department. Let's get a look at your first alert weather on a picture-perfect Monday before temps will start to drop as the week goes on. Dana Fulton on the weather patio.
It is really nice outside right now. The only downside, of course, the wind. It is a little gusty for us, but it's nice and sunny, and temperatures today climbing into the 70s. We haven't been in the 70s since almost October, early October, that is. Our Doppler track is quiet throughout all of southern Wisconsin. We're really enjoying a lot of sunshine. Right now it's 70 in Madison. That breeze coming from the west-southwest at about 11 miles per hour. Again, we haven't been over 70 degrees since October 10th. Now our average first day to be over 70 is April 8th. So right on the money getting this warm this afternoon. Temperatures throughout southern Wisconsin right now still in the mid to low 70s, 75 in Janesville, 74 in Platteville, and 76 right now in Prairie du Chien. Again, our temperatures in the last several hours or 24 hours have climbed quite a bit, but they are going to cool down as we head into tomorrow. Our breeze right now, thanks to a cold front that's pushing across the state, and that cold front is going to usher in temperatures that'll be just a little closer to average for your Tuesday. At least for the next several hours, though, it'll stay pretty mild outside and sunny. If you do have any plans for this evening, plan on temperatures staying in the 60s until we get closer to about 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock, we're in the upper 50s, and overnight lows will be falling through the 40s for us. Tomorrow will be quiet, but our next system we're keeping an eye on is going to bring rain and some snowfall for us for the middle and end of the week. We'll take a look at some timing and accumulation totals in just a few minutes.
Dana, thank you. Emergency officials are keeping an eye on the forecast in case they have to alert the public about any flooding concerns.
In one Sauk County neighborhood, those concerns have become more and more consistent over the years. Madeline O'Neill is back from Prairie du Sac with more. Maddie?
Susan and Eric, Regina Laurie says the flooding in her neighborhood has gotten worse and worse over the past 6 years or so. Now, this is footage from her house on Shirley Street from about 3 weeks ago. That's when a rapid snow melt brought flooding and overflowed a nearby retention pond. Her yard was filled with about 3 feet of water. Now, Laurie's hoping municipalities will take action so she doesn't have to leave her home of 11 years because of consistent flooding.
Physically, your stomach just starts to turn. And all you can think about is what can I do myself? I can't rely on anybody else.
Laurie worries new developments to the north are causing the additional flooding, but the Prairie du Sac Village administrator says that area was designed with enough water retention ponds, and instead rapid snowmelt from farm fields may be to blame. Either way, the administrator says the village is looking into it, and because of the recent flooding, the village is in the early stages of planning possible solutions in Laurie's neighborhood and others. We'll hear more from him and emergency officials on what you should be doing the next couple days to prepare for potential severe weather coming up at 6.
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you, Maddie.
It is construction season, and county officials are reminding all of us to pay attention when driving in work zones. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation's annual Work Zone Safety Campaign is now underway. Signs that say, "Please drive like you work here," are placed near work zones to remind drivers to slow down. According to the DOT, Dane County hasn't had a work zone fatality since 2016, but there were 362 work zone crashes last year.
As people are out there driving in work zones, we want them to remember one basic thing. All work zones are temporary, but the decisions we make behind the wheel can make an impact that lasts forever.
And today, orange cones with black ribbons were placed near work zone sites. Those cones signify people lost in work zone crashes.
More than 7% of bridges in Wisconsin are classified as structurally deficient, and that may sound scary when you think about it.
But Jamie Perez explains what that means and why there's no need for concern.
Well, if you're just driving along the road and you happen to be crossing over a bridge, you probably don't want to think about the fact that there might be something wrong with that bridge, right? Well, chances are if you've driven in the state of Wisconsin, you might have already done so, maybe without knowing it. This bridge here that sits over County Highway B is just one of more than 1,000 bridges that are called structurally deficient. Out of the 47,000 bridges in this country, here in Wisconsin, there's about 14,000 bridges, and 7.4% are structurally deficient. Of those, about 35 are part of the interstate highway system. So what does this mean?
It could be a girder, or it could be the deck of the bridge. It would be deteriorated or rusted or corroded, something of that nature.
Out of the bridges here in Wisconsin, many of those bridges are in Milwaukee, but there are some here in our area, like this one on County Highway B and this one in Rock County. But Bill Oliva says there's nothing you should worry about as you drive across.
All bridges are inspected on a regular basis.
Every 2 years or more. So no, these bridges won't just collapse on you. In fact,
All Wisconsin is below average as far as deficient bridges.
see? And if that doesn't assure you, these bridges are constantly being worked on to make sure nothing bad ever does happen to the more than 20,000 people who travel these bridges daily.
But all of the bridges are safe.
State officials estimate they'll probably spend about $1.5 billion to make all of the repairs needed to any structurally deficient bridge, putting drivers like you and me a little bit more at ease next time we drive over a bridge just like this one. In Dane County, I'm Jamie Perez for News 3 Now.
And if you would like to know what other bridges in the state are structurally deficient, there is a link on our website at channel3000.com. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders plans to hold rallies in battleground states this weekend, including right here in Madison. Sanders announced he will hold a rally 5 p.m. Friday at James Madison Park. Senator Sanders won the Wisconsin primary in 2016. Wisconsin is seen as a toss-up state, of course, and has been an early focus for Democratic presidential candidates. Beto O'Rourke campaigned in the state last month during the first week of his candidacy. More to come on News 3 Now at 5. Up next, more than a dozen parents plead guilty in a nationwide college admissions cheating scandal. We'll tell you what penalty they could face.
And a major shakeup within the Department of Homeland Security. Why Secretary Nielsen's departure was just the first.
And on Wall Street, mixed numbers to start the week. The Dow loses 84, the Nasdaq adds 15, while the S&P 500 was up 3. We'll be right back. Actress Felicity Huffman has agreed to plead guilty in the college admission cheating scandal.
Newly released court documents name 13 parents and 1 coach who have all pleaded guilty in the largest college bribery scandal ever prosecuted by the U.S. Justice Department. Huffman paid a college admissions consultant $15,000 to have a proctor boost her daughter's SAT score. She released a statement saying, "I'm in full acceptance of my guilt with deep regret and shame over what I have done, and my daughter knew absolutely nothing about my actions." Full House actress Lori Loughlin and her fashion designer husband have not yet entered a plea. All of the parents who pleaded guilty today could face a maximum of 20 years in prison.
More Trump administration national security officials are out one day after DHS Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen said she would resign. U.S. Secret Service Director Randolph Tex Alice is leaving the Trump administration. His ousting comes just a day after Secretary Nielsen's resignation was announced.
I share the president's goal of securing the border. I will continue to support all efforts to address the humanitarian and security crisis on the border.
Customs and Border Protection Commissioner Kevin McAleenan will take over as acting DHS Secretary.
Let's get a check on the weather now. Touch of summer outside this afternoon. Dana Fulton is here in the studio with us. Dana?
Really not too bad outside right now. Again, a little windy, but sunny and pleasant with our temperatures. Our Doppler track bringing a few isolated showers to the northern edge of Wisconsin, but southern Wisconsin staying dry for us right now. We have this area of low pressure that's crossing on over in front of our cold front. We have some pretty strong wind speeds outside. Our sustained wind speeds between 10 and 20 miles per hour through this evening. Once these fronts cross, though, and that one drops southeast, our temperatures tomorrow will be a little more seasonal. We aren't going to be nearly as warm outside, but still mid-50s. Not too bad for us. So we see sunshine tomorrow. We get a little cooler, but then our next system right now, actually off the coast of Oregon and Washington, it's going to continue to sweep through the Rockies and Plains and bring a lot of moisture, rain and snow in a wintry mix to the Midwest as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. A long-lived system that we are going to be keeping a close eye on the track, because the track is going to be very dependent on how much rain or snow we see. The timing there is very important for us. So throughout Tuesday, plan on sunshine. Tuesday night, we become mostly cloudy, and by Wednesday, we start to see a little bit of moisture creep into the southwest corner of the state early in the morning. In Madison, we likely won't start to see moisture until around noon. But notice that freezing line just right across the Madison area, stretching up to La Crosse and towards Milwaukee also. And that's through Wednesday afternoon. So we could see a little wintry mix, maybe a few snowflakes and a little rain also along the state line and heading down into Illinois. They'll have showers throughout the afternoon and evening on Wednesday. There's the potential there to see a little snow accumulation throughout Wednesday evening and into Thursday morning. The hindrance there on accumulation totals is going to be the fact the ground will be so warm, and also we have that water on the ground right now. Everything's pretty saturated for us, and that's really going to hurt the opportunity for any sort of snow accumulation. On top of that, once the snow wraps up, we aren't just going to get a break. We're going to continue to see rain that eats away at any snow that we may have on the ground. We have showers and isolated thunderstorms throughout the day on Thursday, and then by Friday morning, we're looking at a steady transition to some light flurries again, and then we are going to watch that rainfall gradually wrap on up for us. So overnight, plan on those temperatures falling to the mid to low 40s under a partly cloudy sky. Tomorrow, we're mostly sunny and seasonal. Mid to upper 50s for afternoon highs, and then that moisture starts to creep into the southwest corner of the state early in the morning on Wednesday. It's not until we get closer to noon that we start to see that mix and snowfall for us in Madison, and then we will transition over to rain as we head into your Thursday. Snow accumulations really hovering close to 1 to 2 inches, and again, that's really with that snow coming through first on Wednesday and then the rainfall eating away at it again. If we continue to watch the track stay cold overnight into Thursday, these numbers are going to climb quite a bit as all of that rain will turn to snow. If the temperatures start to warm up a little bit, our snowfall numbers are going to stay pretty low for us. So it's very dependent on the track and also our opportunity to see the temperatures rise or fall for us. Overnight low of about 42 tonight. Tomorrow we're looking at a high of 56 degrees. Tomorrow will be seasonal, and then we're much cooler for the rest of the week. Upper 30s on Wednesday. Mid-40s on Thursday and Friday, and sun returning for us as we head into the weekend. So we will get some sun after we get through this spring-like system. Right now, though, I do want to take a look at what's going on the roads. This is about line at Park Street. The westbound side always seems to be doing good around this time. Eastbound, though, seeing a few more brake lights. no major accidents or delays, but we are seeing those brake lights really all the way from 18 over to 51 on the eastbound side. Mount Horeb, we do have a few stops downtown. Verona looks good right now, and looking down towards Janesville, we're not seeing any major delays. 6 minutes from Verona to the Beltline, from Oregon to the Beltline. About 8 minutes and 4 minutes from Springfield to University Avenue. 26 minutes if you're traveling northbound from Janesville to the Beltline. Sauk City to Middleton, 19 minutes. Same goes from Sun Prairie to downtown. That's a quick look at traffic.
All right, thanks, Dana.
Ahead at 5, a nationwide push to make e-cigarette products available only to those 21 and older. The story after a short break.
This just in from the Channel 3000 Alert Center. A building has partially collapsed in the 1200 block of McKenna Boulevard. A Madison Fire Department spokeswoman says during the reconstruction process for a remodeling project in the basement of a building, a load-bearing wall was removed, and that caused the partial collapse. About 3 units are affected, but luckily no one was injured.
Statistics show that tobacco continues to lose its appeal for young people, but vaping is skyrocketing among middle and high school students.
Dr. Tara Narula looks at the nationwide push to make the products only available to those 21 and older.
19-year-old Matt Murphy got hooked on nicotine in high school. What began as experimentation with vaping turned into an addiction.
That snowballed into me having a, neurochemical dependency on it without me even knowing.
How addictive are these products?
Nicotine is one of the most addictive chemicals known to man. You know that some kids are getting addicted with really just a handful of uses.
E-cigarette use among middle and high school students is rising sharply. In 2018, nearly 5%, that's 1 in 20 middle school students, reported trying e-cigarettes within the last 30 days. That's up from less than 1% in 2011. Among high schoolers, that number jumped from 1.5% in 2011 to more than 20% in 2018.
Nicotine can interfere with memory and can interfere with learning.
18-year-old Sarah Ryan is a high school senior. She calls herself an anti-tobacco and vaping activist.
These products are used by kids at every age.
And wants the legal age to buy these products raised to 21.
These products shouldn't be a part of high school culture, and 18-year-olds are still in high school.
9 states have passed legislation to raise the legal age for tobacco and vaping products to 21. Hundreds more cities, counties, and towns have as well. And on Thursday, Congressman Robert Aderholt of Alabama introduced a bill that would make 21 the legal age nationwide. Matt Murphy kicked his habit 9 months ago and has become an anti-nicotine advocate himself.
It is way easier to prevent than it is to stop.
Dr. Tara Narula, CBS News.
Stay with us. We'll have a final check of your forecast in just a moment.
Here's a look at some of the stories we are working on tonight. A huge shakeup at Homeland Security. The head of the Secret Service and others out the door. New guidelines for when women should get mammograms are out. We'll explain. And a new take on The Wizard of Oz with a Dorothy and photo you do not want to miss. On tonight's CBS Evening News.
And savor today because changes are coming.
Yes, the warm weather today not staying with us. Tomorrow's going to be a little more seasonal, though. We still have sunshine for Tuesday. Afternoon highs will be in the middle 50s. And then we have our next system sliding in. Quite a spring-like mix for us where we'll see a little snow early on Wednesday. And that may transition over to rain overnight, but the moisture is going to linger with us through Thursday and Friday also. Be keeping a close eye on the track of that system. All right, thanks.
Back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6.